Basically what I want to show you today is what I think is a super handy attachment for a floor mount drill press that has an XY or milling table with a vise on it. In many cases, I think people have an XY vise, but they have to take it on and off when they want to do various kinds of operations. And so what I'm here to kind of sell you on is the idea that if you have this little easy to make sacrificial table, you can leave your XY vise on all the time. So here it is, and obviously again, if you have an XY vise, you can use the cranks and you can move anywhere you want around on there to do flat work. Secondly, I think most of you know that the base of the table is kind of shaped like this, and so you need a pretty big clamp to get around that bottom part to hold things on. Whereas this table, which in this case is made out of 1-inch MDF, just requires an ordinary clamp. So if you want to clamp something to it, and I know this isn't that big a deal for a straight piece of wood, but if you're working on steel or something like that and you want to clamp it down, there's no apron on this table, so you can clamp to it very easily. And then if you have a mark that you really want to maintain and you want to be able to get exactly to it, you can use your XY cranks to get right there and then drill your hole. And since this thing is made out of wood, and as I say, it is sacrificial, you can drill all the way through without worrying about ruining your good cast iron table on the drill press or something like that, or not getting the hole clean on the far side. Okay, so that's, to me, one of the basic advantages of this kind of a table. A second advantage is if you're using hole saws. You really need to be able to go just a little bit beyond to make a clean hole. So since this is sacrificial, it's easy to set this up using the stop, the quill stop, so that you go just a little bit below the surface and just finish the hole. And as you can see here, this one is pretty well used, and it's about the time that I should replace it. So how hard is that to do? Well, this thing is simply made out of a piece of 2x4 or 2x6 and a piece of, I just happened to use 1-inch MDF because I had some scraps around, and it's just held on there with 2 wood screws. That's all there is to it. So last night I just made a new one. Looks the same, and it is the same, and that's that. So the point is, it's sacrificial, it's handy, and it allows you to keep your XY vise on your drill press almost all the time. I mean, I say almost, but I mean all the time. I don't have to take it off at all. So there's my new table. For those of you who care, I think this one is 9 by 11 inches just because that was a handy size. And I made the 2x4 in the back about 1.25 inches short on each side, so there's room all the way around for clamps anywhere you might need them. And also you'll notice I offset this, so there's about, I don't know, 4 inches available on this side and about 6.5 inches or so available on this side, so that I can put it in there this way or that way, depending on where I need the most support. And again, when you don't need it, it's just gone in one flick of the vise. Thank you for watching.